Greetings everyone, Barrett here, and we're back with another 5-minute review. Today we're going to be taking a look at something a little different. This is Godzilla from Godzilla and Kong, the New Empire, the recent legendary film that came out. So this is the westernized version of Godzilla. But this looks like a fascinating kit done by Bandai, and I'm quite excited to take a look at what's going on in here. So upon opening, we are greeted by basically two colors. We get bone color and the it's like a really dark gray of Godzilla's skin. And now you have essentially two kits in one. You have the living version of Godzilla and the skeleton version of Godzilla. Now, my initial reaction upon seeing the living version of Godzilla, is what I'll call him, was I was slightly disappointed at how soft all of the details and features look. They just look kind of melted almost. But as I was going through the kit parts and kind of reflecting on it afterwards, I actually think that it might be to the benefit of the builder if they were to choose to permanently assemble their Godzilla figure, and it would allow them to more easily blend all the different joints and seam lines between all the different parts, because it would be easier with the softer detail of the skin textures to blend those in, as opposed to like really sharp and jagged stuff that would be a little bit more difficult. So possible silver lining there, but it's broken up into quite a few parts. I wasn't expecting it to have as many intricate pieces as it did, but again, upon reflection, it kind of makes sense. And they do have slightly different colors for the inside of the mouth. So you get these are the two halves of the actual head, and then you have the top of the mouth, like the roof of the mouth, and the bottom of the mouth, and then you actually have a separate tongue. And the tongue is slightly different color from the rest of the mouth, so it kind of helps set it apart. You do get some clear pieces. These are just to help facilitate in displaying your completed Godzilla. Looking at some of the bone parts, we have the skull there and some of the spiky plates that go on the back. And what I didn't realize until reading the instructions later on is that the skull bits there, you actually get two sets of skulls, double as the teeth for the living version. So the actual skull goes inside the head of the living version, and there's your teeth. So taking a look at more of the actual skeletonized version, we do get a lot of parts here and a lot of halves. So a lot of the spinal column and the vertebrae are all done in halves, left and right half. So, there is a fair amount of assembly to do there, but you can see here the big chunky leg bones, the rib cage, the hip bones, things like that. The arms are basically all one piece. You do have another separate piece for some more of the fingers. Here's the other skull, and the bone version looks pretty cool. Definitely could use some painting, but we'll go ahead and take a look at the instructions. So we do start off with a parts breakdown, and then basically you start with the skeleton version. Build up the rib cage, the spinal column, the tail, the legs, and then work your way up towards the head. And then we move over to the living version, and again we're going to start with basically the arms, the torso, the main body, and then we'll do the tail and the legs. You do get a little bit of cool information about the designing of the kit, which is nice. Kind of provides a good little read through there. I do like this little thing here that says be careful of the sharp parts, pointy parts, basically. I've got a chuckle out of that. So here it shows how you install the skull into the head, and that's your teeth there. But this next part kind of took me by surprise. So I didn't realize, but you can actually put the entire skeleton inside the living Godzilla. And yeah, really neat. Anyways, I think this is a cool looking kit, a great looking kit. I really like the design of the legendary Godzilla. And I think this would be a fun one to build. I do think it would benefit from some careful painting to kind of really bring out that detail, both in the living version and in the skeleton version. But nevertheless, it'll be very impressive once it's built up and on your shelf. So if you're interested in this kit or thousands of others just like it, head on over to mrshobby.com. We'll see you on the next video. Bye, everyone.